Here's Prop in the left wing corner. Penguins in, centers it, came off a stick. Flyers losers of the last game against Washington 4-3. The Penguins with a 7-game unbeaten streak. Kartner shoots and deflected right in on Barrasso. Hillier steers it into him and he holds. Now Hannon, and the bodies pile up at front. Now Tocchet jumps somebody from behind as they all grab a man. Barrasso trying to scramble and get out of the pack right now. And here's Terry Kartner taking a whack at Caulfield, and now he got those gloves off first and came right in on top of him. Caulfield never had his gloves off, and Kartner stripped him and went right after Jay Caulfield. So Terry, that's not Kartner either.
It's Chychrun.
Jeff Chychrun coming after Jay Caulfield.
Tell you, we've seen Chychrun in a very short period of time establish himself as one of the tougher guys in the league. He fought Zemlak here the last time the Penguins were in and just tore him up, to be honest with you. He's really a tough customer, and I don't know that we really got that on him when we heard his name, but he is making himself a reputation around the league. 22 years old, 6'4", 200 pounds. Well, Terry Kartner threw the puck to the net. Barrasso coming out to take the angle away, but it hit a leg. It fortunately rolled right next to Barrasso, and he was able to sweep that puck into his body and freeze it. Meantime, Hannon came over, took a shot at Bullard from behind. Bullard fell down after Hillier also hit him from behind. And then I think it was Kartner. No, it was not. I don't know who it was that jumped in. Maybe Tocchet behind Hillier. And then Chychrun kind of waded through the pack to find Jay Caulfield. He found him all right, and they ended up on top of each other on the ice.
Check to the Flyers, each of major 5 minutes of fighting. Randy Hillier.
And now a pass back to Coffey. He's got the motor going. Weave his way to the Flyer line. Long shot, partially deflected by Samuelson, the 6'6" defenseman. Hextall comes over. Don't want to let him handle it. Comes in front of the Queen. He puts it in an open net. And the Penguins take a 1-0 lead. Don Knockbauer out with Dave Brown and Craig Berube. For the Flyers, Zemlak's going to handle the draw. Now he'll play center here with Randy Cunneyworth and Dan Frawley. And the Flyers now, as we go back to play, they've reset the clock. It's back in order now with 16:45 to go in the first period. Penguins lead 1-0. Buska sails it up deep into the Flyers in. Now a fight's going to break out here. Berube and Zemlak apparently are going to go, and the linesman going to try and get them apart. Dave Brown moved in. Are they going to let Berube and Zemlak go? They are. The linesmen just square up, and they're going to have to do it. Berube gets the first shot in. Now he and Zemlak, and Berube comes with the right. Now Zemlak with a left hand. They go toe-to-toe, and a left by Zemlak coming at Berube. And now Zemlak has Berube down. I'll tell you, I'll be fair about this. And there was no reason for that fight to take place. Sorry. The linesman right there, they could have separated him, not let a punch be thrown, but they elected just to back away. And as they go to the penalty box again, 16:40 to go. Tell me what that accomplished. 1-0 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network. Now Richard Zemlak has some sore fingers. He goes in for fighting, 5-minute major. Craig Berube of the Philadelphia Flyers, also 5 for fighting. On the USAir scoreboard, out of town, John Tucker's 9th goal of the year, giving the Buffalo Sabres a 1-0 lead. And now Berube's got some problems with his hands, or is he talking about Zemlak's?
I don't know, but Zemlak asked Randy Cunneyworth to come over to the box, see if he could help him out with something. Zemlak's right hand really bothering him. You know, you say, why did that fight take place? Well, there's really only one reason, because those two guys exist on the rosters, and they're almost there to paid to do exactly what they did just there. And you get that feeling that this game here tonight, each team trying to establish itself in every category before the game really gets started. The Penguins, though, have the 1-0 lead, having established themselves on the power play, best in the league, and the Flyers were the second best. Well, John Cullen, who scored 2 goals in here the last time, handling the puck behind the net. He handles it very well in traffic. Jay Wells just really knocked him into the boards.
That's a dangerous play there, too. So the Penguins go to work again with a man advantage. And the first time, Hextall shot it off one of his own players. It bounced in front. Comes off the near side. Up with that puck will be Robbie Brown. Penguins on a power play. Center point to Paul Coffey. Left side to Zalapski. Sardi doesn't shoot. Coffey will, and he shoots and scores, and he beats Hextall off his stick. And the Penguins take a 2-0 lead. Globetrotters will be in the Civic Arena December 30th, Friday night, 7:30. And tickets available at all choice seat outlets. And here are the Flyers scoring a goal. Right from the faceoff, the Flyers get on the board. He'll leave it for Jay Wells. So Hannon with a chance shorthanded. Penguins on the year with 8 shorthanded goals. The Flyers have given up just 3. Hannon almost took that puck away from Peliekko. Now we've got a hurt player down. Jay Wells apparently was hit by Hannon. Here's talking to the near corner, going to Peliekko. Cuts right for the net. His shot, he scores. Peliekko off the skate of Barrasso. Nobody came to get him. John Cullen digging for the puck. Flyers putting pressure on. It's jammed against the boards. And now a face-off here is Talkin and Zalapski. And now Talkin comes after Zalapski and whacks him with his glove. And the Penguins come diving in on Rick Talkin. Karkner moved away by... Oh, and Karkner took a left at Cullen and whacked him with a glove. McCunny were trying to get after Terry Karkner. Boy, using that glove is very vicious. I'll tell you, you can really cut somebody very badly. And Karkner just whacked Cullen with a glove. You want to fight? Take them off. Take them off.
And Zalapski got the same thing from Talkin.
Buska's tying up Bullard. The original play, Zalapski had his helmet knocked off apparently by Talkin prior to this. Now Zalapski came back at him. And again, using that glove. The thing about the leather, Paul, is it can cut you so badly. It's just for the last 2 games we've seen players use the gloves. So that you don't see it all year. Karkner, Bullard restraining Cunnyworth from behind, and then Karkner, of course, with the shot at John Cullen. Down the near side, pulls the trigger, blocked by Samuelson, and Mellenby directs it back to the Penguin stripe. Jimmy Johnson out the right side of Caulfield, left wing pass to Cunnyworth, comes in, a shot and off the stick of Hextall. He came out to challenge Cunnyworth, and now we've got an injured player down, Scott Mellenby on the far side. I don't know if Caulfield caught him or not on the far boards, but down on the ice, Scott Mellenby will be back in a moment. 17:04 to go in the second period. Tied at 2 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Well, Tim Kerr has had his problems with the Flyers at even strength. He's a -17. And a moment ago, after Ronnie Hextall stopped Randy Cunnyworth, Kerr came up ice and had a good chance on Tom Barrasso. Hextall did a good job of challenging Cunnyworth on that play, Mike, coming out and taking the angle away. Randy loves to tee it up on that left wing, and Hextall maybe knows that, but he came out and really just made it difficult for Randy to find any net to shoot
Now, this
at.
is interesting. Now the Flyers are making some changes as Caulfield hit one of the Flyers. It was Mellenby, and the Flyers bring out this unit. Knockbauer, Dave Brown, Craig Berube, with Karkner and Chychrun back on the fence. Is that a message, or is that a message? They sent out every tough guy they got. Here's Quinn with Cunnyworth and Caulfield. Back to the right point, it comes to Hillier. He'll shoot it. Chychrun and Caulfield square off, and they may go. Caulfield looked at him. Brown comes over. They are going to go. Brown and Caulfield. This is just an obvious situation. A right by Caulfield. Brown comes with a left. Caulfield and Brown. Left hand by Brown, and Caulfield trying to get himself free. He's got the left in, and it's Brown working. Now Caulfield's on top of him. Brown comes back up, and the linesmen step in. You knew that was going to happen. The Flyers were after Caulfield. They were going to go no matter what. They all challenged him. And this could get ugly before it's all done. That was an obvious message there. We'll be back, tied at 2 on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Caulfield had stared at each other, but the puck was in play, and they couldn't exactly get anything going, and then it was Brown and Caulfield who went at it. And Caulfield telling Brown, "You never hit me," and Brown thinking that he won the fight, and who knows who won it. Brown was doing his best. He should be the instigator in this one. I don't think there's any question about that. We'll see what happens.
No, I think they got 5 minutes each for fighting.
Well, okay.
And misconduct penalties. I believe that's the call.
If Morrell says so. The Flyers were the instigators here, period, by sending out the goon squad.
Fans are after Caulfield now in the penalty box.
I don't know what happened on the boards with Mellenby and Caulfield, but I think Caulfield felt that whatever happened was accidental or whatever. He was trying to explain that to the linesman, Gordy Brossiker. And then the Flyers sent out all their tough guys, and Dave Brown came over and threw his gloves off and challenged Caulfield and should have picked up an instigating penalty. I don't think there's any question about it.
Well, you're going to do that. He instigated. He wanted to fight. He's the man who started the fight. There's no question. Yeah.
Why do they have the rule? I mean, that's what it's there for.
Around to the right point. Flyers have the extra man on. A shot by Berube will sail off target. Karkner in the far boards. Karkner, the only one thing you don't have many good shooters out here with the exception of Kerr for the Flyers. Here's Chychrun in deep. He is rammed to the boards by Cunneyworth. Off the far side it comes to Berube, and the Penguins have possession.
They do?
And Barrasso now back with a minute to go in the penalty. Here's Coffey knocking down one of the Flyers. Is there a penalty coming up here? I think an interference call against Coffey for knocking down Brian Propp.
You can see if he could make a play with it offensively behind a goal, and Propp coming at him. Coffey just bumped him as he went by. Interference.
Eklund, he cruises into Pittsburgh. He's skating well. Right side to Harding. A shot save. Rebound put right on him. Put back in the net. I think Jimmy Johnson might have knocked it into his own goal. We'll have to wait and see.
He did.
Puck off of Barrasso, then came right back out and hit Jimmy Johnson's stick or skate and went in the net. From behind his own net, Kerry Huffman. Out to number 28, and here's a check by Dykstra on Jeff Harding, 6'4" right winger. And what's the call going to be? We're going to stop and play here by Flyers as Harding now comes after Dykstra, and they get the sticks up to one another. And Jeff Harding and Steve Dykstra.
Harding is in that Flyer mold at 6'4", 200 pounds.
Harding goes back over. They push and shove now, and Harding. We'll get some more delays here. Now somebody's taking a whack, and Kerr is in there. And who's he going at? Oh, Kerr just flattened somebody. Kerr dropped his gloves and fired away. Everybody's got a hold of one another. Samuelson is over. He and Dykstra. Well, Tim Kerr, and I'll tell you, he's a gentle giant. You don't get him riled too often, but he was upset about something, and he just started wailing away with that left hand.
He really crushed somebody with that left, too. I'm not sure who it is. Randy Cunneyworth caught him by surprise.
Now Harding, the rookie, involved here, and Cunneyworth talking to Kerr. Harding now, and who's he going to go with? Zemlak, I believe. Or is it John Cullen?
I think it's Zemlak.
Zemlak. It is Zemlak. Now Harding, this all started. Dykstra checked him, and he took offense to it, and that's where it all started coming about. There are not many punches being thrown now, and the linesman will step in. But Kerr dropped his gloves and started whacking away at Randy Cunneyworth on the far boards. Looks like a Halloween picture. He's for real, folks. No mask. Zemlak and Harding are separated. 7:47 to go in the period. Now we've got another one breaking out. It's Samuelson and Dykstra. They're going to go. Harding's trying to get away, and he's coming after somebody. Samuelson's on top of Dykstra. We're going to try and break that up. It's Samuelson now hitting Dykstra from behind.
Fans loving that, too. Dykstra's down. He has got unable to defend himself. Samuelson throwing left hands. Johnson has been known to jump in before, Mike, to save his teammates in those situations.
Now Jimmy Johnson upset with Pelle Eklund, and he's coming after him.
Well, it's the same stuff.
Exactly. Huffman is on top of one of the Penguins on the far side. And now the things heat up on the Flyer bench. Jeff Harding, he's out of the game. He's gone. He never went to the penalty box, so he's out of the game. Now they're throwing stuff at Barrasso from the stands. Who is Huffman on top of? I don't know.
Whoever it is Huffman's having mercy on him, I think. Samuelson is 6'6". He's not the kind of guy you'll see fight too often either. Kelly Eklund was on the all clean team recently in an article. They talked about the guys who don't hit too much or get involved in that kind of stuff. He was helpless against Jimmy Johnson, just as Dykstra was helpless against Samuelson.
Eklund's headed off. He got a game misconduct. I think that Dykstra will get a game misconduct, and Jimmy Johnson also for fighting after the first fight. And Dave Brown right in the middle of everything. Yeah, it might be going all night here, it appears, in Philadelphia. Flyers lead 3-2.
Brown wants Caulfield again, and they're talking back and forth to each other.
Jeff Harding, we know, is gone. He's gotten a game misconduct for not going. He should get a penalty for not going to the penalty box, too. The linesman Gordy Brassiker in an effort to try and get Harding off the ice surface. And this all starting with the youngster Harding being hit by Steve Dykstra and took exception to it. And again, we hate to harp back on the situation about youngsters not being able to take checks in this league anymore without getting stupid about it. And we're seeing it more and more. And that only comes from one place, folks. That's the junior ranks, where they're taught to do that. They retaliate, and they have no discipline and no ability to play the game. They just want to fight and stick each other all the time. And they've got to learn that that's not the way it is.
Harding played junior B hockey at St. Michael's and then went on to Michigan State and played a season there.
I'm not going to go to the juniors. I'm going to go lower than that in Canada, the way the kids are. I mean, it's ridiculous anymore to go to hockey games. That's all they do is fight. That's all they do.
Well, the NHL can't be happy about the article that was in Sports Illustrated last week. Hockey's bloodiest season. And the publicity they're getting now is just ridiculous.
And Montreal and St. Louis, 2-1 Montreal. Dykstra and Samuelson involved.
Dykstra slipped and fell down, and his helmet was off. He could have gotten hurt there, too, and Samuelson landed on top of him. A few rabbit punches from Shell Samuelson. And Dykstra helpless.
And the Flyers have outshot the Penguins in this game by the total of 21-9. The Penguins have had only 2 shots here in this period. That's it.
Well, Jimmy Johnson said something to Kerr. Kerr came in and was looking at Jim, just staring at Jimmy Johnson. Cunneyworth moved him away, and Cunneyworth pushed him in the face, and then Kerr threw his gloves off and came after Cunneyworth.
But it's nothing new here in this building. We've seen it before, so don't be surprised. I think we still have a lot of time left in it. Here's Cullen losing the face off to Knockbauer. 5 to go in the period. Penalty is over. Karkner shoots and he missed the net. Period will end 3-2 Philadelphia. The period is finally over, and now Bob Airy is hit against the boards by Mellenby, and we're going to get it going again. Gord Murphy and Bob Airy. And here we go again. And now a shot by Mellenby on Bob Airy with his left hand. Morrell trying to cool things down, and now Mellenby is going to go here with Bob Airy, and he's working him over. He came right after him and just pounced on him. And the linesmen step in and break him apart. Mellenby just going to get the whacks that he wanted to against. Now Hillier comes over, and Mellenby throws a helmet at him. Taka turns around Randy Hillier. And Gord Murphy and Mario Lemieux have a hold of one another at the moment. Dahlquist has a man. Hextall is at the Philadelphia bench. The period is ended. So the Flyers have killed another penalty. The Penguins are now 2 for 8. Here's Zalapski, belted on a check by Karkner. John Cullen looking for Zalapski. And now another check by Karkner knocks Cullen flying.
Jim Detka, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, our contestant.
Well, if you were handing out stars right now, Dave Poulin certainly would have to be considered for one. Right now, the way the penalty count is gone. Here's Coffey firing right on the stop. Kicked in by Brown. There'll be no goal. Robbie Brown kicked that puck in. There'll be no goal. Dennis Morrell right there on the doorstep. Morrell warning Lemieux. Robbie Brown says, I didn't kick it in, but Robbie Brown had his leg, and it appeared to me that he directed it in. We'll have to see if we can get another opportunity to Look at it, 3-2. The Flyers have the lead. The puck went in off Robbie Brown. Penguin power play trying to connect. Lemieux came rushing to Dennis Morel.
Coffey finally let one go. He had some room and he really let it rip on Hextall. The rebound popped in the air and Brown knocked it out of the air with a stick. Bad call by the referee. Terrible call. So the Penguins have a bad bounce off Johnson's skate and a bad call on a goal. It should have been theirs and the game should be tied.
Around the far boards to Rick Tocchet. Up to center. That is like having another defenseman back there with the Flyers being short-handed in that situation. Zalapski. Now Brown falls to his knees. Here are the Penguins. Zalapski now on the move to the Flyers line. Going to carry it in. Zalapski goes in deep, goes behind that net. Oh, he's hammered on a check by Chychrun. Sent it in front of Cullen. His shot. Hextall stopped that too. In the near corner. Lemieux of Pittsburgh still out here. Looking for Zalapski, who rambles in, and Hextall gloves the puck. And now the Flyers knock down Robbie Brown. And here's Hextall with that stick coming after somebody. Or is he telling people to back off? I think that's what he's doing. He gives Chychrun a... Well, he hit his own man. Telling him to back off. They can't afford to lose any other defenseman. We'll be back in a moment. 3-2. The Flyers have the lead on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hextall made a huge save on John Cullen. The puck squirted loose to the side of the net. And Hextall then gloved it and pulled it up into the air. Robbie Brown bumped Hextall, and then Derek Smith slammed him into the boards. And Brown's going to the penalty box.
Well, Hextall, Philadelphia, a minor penalty for roughing, and Brown also, the Pens. We've had 261 minutes of penalty time in this game. Called already. 261.
Cullen trying to clear the puck up the boards, and he whacked Kerr with the stick in the face. It could have been a high sticking penalty, just by an accident, but we've seen it called before. It's amazing he's not bleeding. He hit him pretty good with that stick. Boy, Cullen really decked Poulin earlier, too.
Coffey going to Hillier. Here's Lemieux calling for the puck. He's got it. He's onside. He cuts for the net. Lemieux's there. He can't get the shot off. It's stopped by Hextall. The loose puck gathered in to the right of the net as somebody fell on top of it.
Mario coming in on the right side, wanted to cross over to the backhand as he's done before on Hextall. He faked, but Hextall did not want to even wait for any fakes. He said, I'm going after this puck, and he went after it and got it. Hextall is so big and he's got such long reach that he was able to just outreach Lemieux's reach.
He actually came up with that puck. I thought it squirted free and went to the right of the net, but Hextall pulled it in, then lost his stick. Or did he?
Yeah, he did. It was flying in the air.
Poking to the right wing corner. Man cutting for the net, Karkner. But the pass not that way. Near side Penguin ice. Terry Karkner of Philadelphia to Kerr. Tim Kerr looking, centers a score. It's Tocchet who gets the power play goal, and the Flyers lead 4-2. Kerr waited a long time, but he spotted Tocchet out of the corner of his eye, and he came right in and rammed it home.
Barrasso didn't have a prayer on that one.
And it's a 4-3 game. A shorthanded goal by Lemieux with 39 seconds to go in regulation time. The goal at 19:21. Lemieux this time got it by Hextall. He didn't make a big sweeping move. He beat the Flyer netminder. Coming in, just short, quick, compact moves, and Murphy was chasing Lemieux as he has done all night in an effort to try and get him. Lemieux gets the goal. It will be his 26th of the year. And now a timeout has been called. Gino Briacco, I think, will pull Barrasso maybe for the faceoff. And he will. 14 left. It's by Zalapski. Poulin wants that puck. He's trying to get it to an open man. He's knocked off his skates by Brown. The Flyers are offside. Brown is hit from behind. They're all coming after Robbie Brown. Now Lemieux turns around. Rick Tocchet. Tocchet whacking away, and he's hitting everybody in sight. Tocchet after. Zarley Zalapski apparently. Tocchet just turned and started wailing away, and I think Lemieux was a man that had his arms grasped around him. Karkner is in there. Now Bourque and Tocchet. Now just 9 seconds remain in this game, however. And the Flyers have everything going their way because the faceoff will be at the Penguin blue line. Zalapski's headed off. Game is over. 4-3. The Flyers win here in Philadelphia on the Penguins Hockey Network.